All right, the recording is in progress, so I think we can officially start our hackathon. So hello everyone, thanks for signing up for this hackathon. Thanks for joining our introductory talk as well. My name is Paweł Gora. I'm the founder and CEO of the Quantum AI Foundation, which is a non-profit organization from Poland. We are the official and formal organizer of this Quantum Games Hackathon. This hackathon is also organized in collaboration with Q Poland. So Q Poland is one of the Q cousins of the Q World, which is an international initiative aiming to support research, education, collaboration in quantum technologies and building the open global quantum computing ecosystem. And as you can see, we also have several strategic partners, Quantum Game Jam, for example. I know that there are also some participants of the Quantum Game Jam from this year. And there is also Polish Fund for Development, PFR. So it's a government organization from Poland supporting startups in our country. We also have several companies, several startups from Poland, and Objectivity is in fact already an international startup from the UK originally, but they also have offices in Poland. Some information about our hackathon. So as you can see, the goals are development of quantum games. So we hope that there will be several great, interesting, educating games developed by our participants, by you. Enhancing innovation in the quantum computing domain, increasing your skills in the use and application of quantum mechanics, quantum computing, and creative teamwork. So maybe you can also use these skills later in the future in some other projects. Broadening technical horizons in the development of creative solutions to achieve positive social change, and popularizing quantum mechanics and quantum computing. And last but not least, I also hope that all of you will have good fun. Some key features. The goal is to develop games related to quantum mechanics and quantum computing. So there were already some questions whether the games should specifically use some quantum computing frameworks like Qiskit or quantum annealing from D-Wave. There are no such formal requirements, so it's up to you which technology is used, but it is also possible that this solution could be purely classical, but for example, it can just classically simulate some quantum processes just to educate people on quantum mechanics. So that could be also acceptable, right? So it is possible that our judges will give maybe a bit lower scores for such projects, but it's also allowed. So if the game is entertaining and can educate many people on quantum technologies, that's also fine. The default language is English. It's an international hackathon, so we have participants from many countries, and it's fully remote. As you know, we accept teams with up to 5 people, but we strongly recommend to have at least 2 members. So later when I start talking about the prices, I will explain why we recommend to have at least 2 members. So one of the reasons is that, of course, it's easier to work in teams, because otherwise, if everything depends on only one person, then it's less likely that this project will survive if there are some difficulties, and usually people don't have all the necessary skills, right? So some people have competencies in quantum technology, some in software development, some may have competencies in game development, someone else in business development or designing user interfaces. So that's why it's good to have expertise from various domains in your team. And also, as I said, right, so if there's only one person and something happens, so the person is sick, then or decide to work on something else, then it's less likely that this project will be developed further. But we also want to encourage all the participants to develop games that could be also developed further later in the future. We decided to have up to 100 participants. So in fact, we invited exactly 100 people at the beginning. But as you have seen, or at least probably most of you have seen, we've initiated discussion that maybe we should also invite a few more game developers. So we invited all the game developers that signed up in our application form, but unfortunately, it looks that there's still not enough game developers in our hackathon. So maybe we can still accept a few more people, especially that I saw on our server that not all invited registrants have joined our server, so maybe they will join later. So one of the requirements is that the solutions you develop should be open source and available under the MIT license so that our jury members can also evaluate the code that you developed, and so that we can also check and be sure that it's not a game that was just developed some time ago and then reused in this hackathon. So of course, there was also another discussion on the server whether the whole game should be developed from scratch during the hackathon, or it should be based on an existing code. So we decided that we can accept extensions of some existing projects, but it should be clearly specified in the code repository what was developed during the hackathon and what was available at the beginning. And this is also one of the reasons why we ask for the open source code, so that we can easier verify what was the initial stage of the project and verify what was the exact work done during the hackathon, and maybe also how the work was divided among the team members. By default, the communication will be through the Discord. So for each team, we'll create a dedicated private text channel and a voice channel, but there are also some public channels as well, so that you can discuss with some things with other participants or ask questions to general questions to the organizers. Regarding participation, the contest is open to participants aged 18 or older. So just a reminder, because yesterday we already had some difficult discussions, let's say, and one person already contacted me privately and said that there is, or he suspects that there was a violation of the code of conduct. So we just remind about the code of conduct and our regulations. So this should be natural, right? So be respectful, be kind to all other members, all other people on this Discord, and everything should be fine, hopefully. So once you have a team, you should post information about the name of the team, as well as the names and the Discord IDs of members on the Login Teams channel. So this is a public channel. So from now on, the sooner you do it, the better for you, because then you'll have your private channels on which you can work and start discussion with your team members. So just let us know and we'll create these channels for you. But if you still don't have a team, this is still fine. There will be a matchmaking session after this introductory talks. So after my talk, there will be another talk given by Kamil Hendzel from Quantum.io. So Quantum.io is one of our strategic partners, and they decided to fund a special prize. And soon after my talk, Kamil will also tell about the rules and expectations from the projects willing to get this special prize. But then there will be this matchmaking session, so we can also try to find a team. It will be carried out on the same Zoom, so we'll probably just create several rooms, and you may have just discussions with other teams looking for team members. So I hope that this will be helpful for people who still don't have teams. There was a suggestion to invite a few more game developers, so that's why we've already, there were no objections, so we've already decided to open the registration form once again, but we haven't started sending invitations to new people. So if you have any objections, because this is slightly against our regulations, so if you have any objections, feel free to contact us. But if there are no objections, and I believe that we all will benefit if we have better and better games developed, then at the end of this day, we'll invite new people who sign up by that time. So I know that there was at least one game developer who wanted to join, but the registration form was already closed. So that's the reason why we decided to do it. Okay, so all teams are asked to submit a link to a publicly available Git repository. So we recommend GitHub. And there should be the code of your project available under the MIT license and with a video recording up to 5 minutes. And this video presentation should just explain your solution and also try to convince our jury members why you should win this hackathon, and so that you should try to answer or give some answers to all the judging criteria that will be also discussed soon and are available on our website. So just a last reminder about the code of conduct. So in short, be inclusive, considerate, respectful, choose your words carefully, don't harass other people, and try to make differences into strengths. So for sure, there were people with different skills, different expertises, maybe also different expectations, but it can be also converted into advantages for your team, hopefully. This is the agenda for today. So as I said, after this introductory kickoff lecture, there will be a presentation of the special prize topic given by Kamil Hendzel from Quantum.io. Then there will be the matchmaking event. And then you can start coding. So in fact, you can already start coding, right? But we don't have any dedicated events in plans for the rest of this day and for tomorrow. But on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, there will be also some invited talks given by our mentors or jury members or partners. So Shaima, who is one of our jury members, will talk on Monday about quantum game development. Later on Tuesday, Maria will tell about offer for startups from this Polish development fund. So that you will see that there will be also some opportunities to develop your projects further even after this hackathon, and maybe also get some extra funding for developing your projects further. On Wednesday, there will be a talk about designing quantum user interfaces and quantum user experience given by Clem. She's another jury member. And then the deadline for submitting solutions is Sunday. So you have almost or about 8 days to develop your projects. I believe that it's enough time. So usually hackathons are shorter, but this time we decided that so some people may need to learn about quantum computing, quantum technologies, or about game development, because this is a very specific hackathon, and also due to the fact that we also accept extending some existing games developed during the Quantum Game Jam, I believe that having 8 days for development should be also more fair. So everyone should have enough time to implement their ideas. And we hope to announce the winners on Sunday at 7 p.m. Warsaw time. So regarding submitting solutions, we'll later, so probably later today or tomorrow at the latest, we'll share a form to submit solutions. So you will just have to give some info about your team and the link to the GitHub repository with all the code and with the video presentation. And the awarded solutions, so links to repositories or maybe links to each IO profile, so that's also something that we are considering now, will be later available on the Hackathon's website. And here we have some judging criteria. Correctness, so are the assumptions and usage of quantum mechanics and quantum computing appropriate and correct? Playability, is this game entertaining? Does it have educational potential? Is the user interface inviting? Is there a potential that there will be many players, many people playing this game for long time. So whether there is a business potential. I see that there are probably some questions, but there will be time to ask questions later, so we can come back to some slides. Originality, how creative and innovative is the idea? Also comparing to the previous stage of your project, right? So if it's extension of the game developed during the Quantum Game Jam, for example, so what is innovative comparing to the initial stage? Quality and completeness, is the game ready to play? Is the mechanics well introduced? And as I said, teams participating in the Quantum Game Jam are welcome to develop their projects further during this hackathon, but they should include a detailed information about the progress in README of the Git repository. So it should be explicitly stated what was the initial stage and what was developed now during the hackathon. All right, so maybe before I go further, maybe there are some questions that we can try to ask now and answer. Do we have any questions? I saw that someone unmuted himself earlier, but maybe it was just by mistake. Okay, so we have 8 judges. As for now, maybe one more judge will join this team later during the hackathon. So our idea was that indeed we want to have many judges, so then hopefully the decision will be more fair. So we have, so in this committee, we have people from with the business background, with background in quantum technologies. We have researchers, we have organizers of some other hackathons, we have designers of user interfaces. So we have people with different backgrounds and different skills. So we hope that the judgment will be fair, or at least as fair as possible, because the judging criteria are vague, right? So they are not very precise, let's say, right? So it's not just solving a mathematical equation and the matter of just giving appropriate answer or not, or proving a theorem, but in developing or designing computer games like quantum games is also subjective, right? So some people may like your game, some people may like another game. So it will not be 100% fair. But anyway, as I also mentioned on the on our Discord, we want to ensure that all interesting and promising projects will be rewarded somehow. So as you can see, there are 3 main prizes in plans. So these amounts are in Polish zloty, so it's our currency here in Poland. And these are gross amounts. And here is another reason why I recommend to have at least 2 members in the team. So according to the Polish law, if the price for a single person is above 2,000 Polish zloty, then there should be a 10% tax reduction. So if you are just a single person and you win the first or the second prize, then we'll have to apply this 10% tax reduction. But if there are 2 members, or at least 2 members, and the price is divided equally, and you will get less than 2,000, then there is no tax reduction. So this is also one of the incentives to have at least 2 members in your team. There will be, so besides the 3 main prizes, there will be also the special prize funded by Quantum.io. So Kamil Hendzel, who has already joined our Zoom, will talk soon about this prize. And it's possible that there will be one more special prize. So this time it will not be, or maybe even more than one. So this time it will not be, probably it will not be just directly the money prize, but rather it will be the opportunity to develop your project further. And there are 2 organizations. So one of these organizations is the Polish Development Fund, that is our strategic partner. So as I said, on Tuesday, there will be a talk about the opportunities for accelerating your projects, for funding your projects, for supporting startups here in Poland. But recently, on Thursday, it turned out that there are chances for one more very interesting prize. So before, I will not announce it now because it's still not 100% confirmed. but I can tell you that there might be some nice surprises for you. So even if you don't win one of these three main prizes or the special prize, don't worry, it's still possible that there will be some other prizes later. Maybe not just directly after the hackathon. Okay, so if you're interested, you can check the website of the previous edition. So we have even more than 100 registered participants, and there are 8 submissions and 4 awarded projects. So maybe you will get some inspiration from those awarded projects. And I've already shared on our Discord links to video presentations of talks that were just given last year. So we don't want to just replicate the talk, so that's why we also recorded those talks, and the recordings are available in cases in which we managed to obtain the consent to record the presentation, because in some cases we are not allowed to record it, but in cases there was a recording, it's now available on YouTube, and you can also watch the presentations of great speakers and also learn more about developing quantum games. So if you have any questions, now it's time to ask. You can also check, so before you ask about something, you can check the regulations that are available on our Discord and on the website of our hackathon. You can also ask your questions on the dedicated public channel. And after you form a team, you will have a private channel, both. So in fact, private channel, because there will be 2 private channels, 1 text channel and 1 voice channel. So you can also ask questions to the organizers and mentors directly on your private channel. So I think that's all from my side, but now it's also time for your questions, if there are any. Okay, I don't see any questions now, so I'm happy that probably everything is clear.
There is one question on chat, Paweł.
All right. Thanks, Kamil. Let me just check it. Let me just check this chat. It's okay. So yeah, if you want to ask questions, maybe it will be better to unmute yourself, because for some reason I cannot. And okay, I see the chat now. All right. There is a question from Antonio. Yeah, so I received a question in a private message. Can we submit GitLab instead of GitHub if files are big? Yes, you can submit GitLab as well. So, but of course, the code should be publicly available, at least for the judges. Regarding revealing the team for the project, you can do it, but we recommend to wait until you have the private channel created. And then the question from Antonio, even though there's not a mathematical formula, are all of the judging criteria more or less equally balanced? Or there are some of them being more important than the others? So all these 4 criteria will be equally balanced. So we asked our judges to give from 0 to 10 points for each criteria, and all scores from the judges will be just summed up, and that will be the final score. So that's the current plan, but we also don't reveal it for a purpose, because as you can see, there are still some ongoing discussions regarding some rules. So we don't expect that there will be any changes, but it is possible that our judges will decide to just modify something, but we don't expect it, right? So usually we shouldn't change the rules during the game, right? So that's why we don't want to use it. But yes, you can assume that all the criteria will be equally important. And then the question regarding the originality of the game, what criteria will be taken into consideration to prevent recreating same game? So it's not it's not objective, I would say, right? So we cannot, so we'll not apply any specific measures to just measure how distant is one game from the other, but our jury members are aware of many existing quantum games. So we've even shared a Google spreadsheet or a link to a Google spreadsheet with a list of quantum games that we know. And if you know some other games, feel free to also add more games to this spreadsheet as well. And our jury members are aware of and have good knowledge about many of the existing quantum games. So if they realize that the game is very, very similar to one of the existing games, then it's likely that the score in this criterion will be lower, right? So, but maybe the implementation will be better, right? So maybe the interface will be much better, and then you can get many points as well. So everything should be taken into consideration. Yeah, and as I said, one important point is so regarding developing some projects that were initiated earlier. So for example, during this quantum game jam, so in this criteria, we'll also analyze what was the difference between the initial stage of the project and the final stage. So if there was no significant difference, then most likely in this criterion, there will be just 0, 1, or maybe 2 points or something like this, right? So we really expect, so so we allowed to develop some existing codes further, just to enhance people to develop their projects further, to give better and better functionalities, to polish the interface, to rethink the mechanics of the game, and create something really better, right? So that we want to just push different teams to just develop their projects further. So that was the main reason behind it. Most likely we'll do it differently in the next year, because we've already realized that it may also cause some issues. So for the next year, most likely it will be organized differently. But as for this year, just try to be creative and think about some totally new or sometimes crazy ideas. And have fun, of course. That's also important. Are there any more questions? You can also unmute yourself, because there were some questions on chat. So for some reason, I was not notified by Zoom. So maybe the reason was that I had another panel open here. All right, I don't see more questions now. So as I said, you can also ask your questions later on our Discord or contact me directly. So now I think I can now stop sharing my slides. And Kamil, if you're ready, you can also start sharing, but I think I can first enable this option to share your screen.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Paweł.
So maybe one more comment. So this is also a good opportunity. I believe this could be also a good opportunity for those participants that still don't have a team, right? So because I realized that there were already some ongoing discussions about ideas, projects. So it looks that some teams already have some good ideas, but I think that all these ideas are not related to the special prize topic that will be presented by Kamil. So I believe that especially this topic could be very interesting for people who still don't have a team and don't have specific ideas for the project. All right, Kamil, the Zoom is yours.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Paweł. So hi, everyone. I'm Kamil, and I represent the sponsor of the special prize in this hackathon, the Quantums.io. So our company deals with quantum optimization and inventing physically inspired algorithms and quantum simulations. So special prize will be awarded to the team that builds the most interesting version of Snake, classic Snake game. However, the task is not at all trivial because it's not only limited to adding quantumness to Snake. As you may know, it is pretty well established that AI-based systems are becoming increasingly better at playing games. In contrast to classical computers, quantum devices cannot yet be used to play games. But we would like to ask how well a quantum device could play the classic game of Snake. And Snake, as I'm sure you know, is a popular video game where the player maneuvers contiguous line segments, which resemble a snake moving around a board. The game is lost when the snake runs into itself or the edge of the board. On the board, there is also a special item called a fruit. There is only one on the board at one time. In the classic version of the snake, of course, the player needs to eat the fruit by running into it with the snake's head. And each time the fruit is eaten, the length of the snake is increased by 1 dot, which makes collisions more likely. And the game is won when the body of the snake fills the entire board, so to speak, the snake is closed. And the snake game can be turned into the mathematical problem of finding Hamiltonian cycles at every move. Just to remind you, in graph theory, a Hamiltonian cycle is a cycle in directed or undirected graph that traverses each vertex exactly once. So the problem of determining whether a Hamiltonian cycle exists in a graph is an NP problem, NP complete problem. And the latter task, so determining whether a Hamiltonian cycle exists, can, at least in principle, be solved by a quantum device, especially by quantum annealer. And the main idea is to map such a problem onto the Ising spin glass model, which can be then annealed by the quantum device. So the solution is encoded into the model's ground state, and the ability to find it by the annealer will determine if it can win the game, the annealer, of course. So during our cooperation with QIntern, we have already had the opportunity to work on this problem. And the result of this work is stored in a code repository. So we have prepared a code for you that might be helpful. It's on the github.com. You can clone it and see for yourselves what we've managed to produce already. It can be used as a model, a feature, an element, or as the foundation for building your game. And so once again, the main idea for the special prize is to build a snake variation that is trying to answer the question how well a quantum device could play the classic game of Snake. And what will we pay attention to? For the record, the criteria for evaluating the project are the same as Paweł showed. So it's correctness, playability, originality, and quality and completeness. But there are the things we will pay additional attention to. So we will look at the creative approach to mimic the classic Snake game. So that's the one additional topic, and the usage of Hamiltonian cycles. So if you will use the Hamiltonian cycles in your idea, that would be a great bonus. So that's all I wanted to talk, and thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Okay. I can see one question from Antonio on our chat. The border of the screen, so can the border of the screen be crossed by the snake, or it crashes and the game is over?
So in the classical version of the snake, it crashes.
Mm-hmm. All right. Do we have any more questions here?
Okay, so thank you.
Okay. Is the game will develop mass about Snake. This is just for the special prize, right?
Yes,
so,
this is just for the special prize.
Yeah, so it's independent. So the special prize is independent of the other prizes. So it's possible that you will win the first prize and the special prize at the same time. It's possible. There is another question. We need to use Julia for the special prize.
No, not at all. We were just using Julia for our project because we think Julia is awesome for the research, and it's really nice. Really nice language to use in the HPC environment. So no, but if you use Julia, that would be a little bit of a sweet spot for us.
Okay, there's another question. A classical Snake and a ladder quantum game is it same? I'm not sure what is a ladder quantum game. So what was the person asking this question? Abdullah, I guess. Yes, Abdullah. Abdullah, could you maybe unmute yourself and also clarify?
So I was asking, like, classical snake and ladder game is already made using quantum. So is it the same or it's a different game?
I think that if I understand you correctly, you can try to add some quantumness to the snake, and yeah, and snake and ladders is a different game. Yeah.
It's not the same. All right. So Kamil, later I will ask you to post the link to the GitHub repository on our Discord. I think you are already a member of the Discord, yes? So
yeah, sure.
You can send it to me or post it directly. So this talk is also recorded, so I will later make the video available, but you can also maybe just briefly summarize in 1 2 sentences on our Discord what's the goal, as you said, just to explore the quantum algorithms, right, and see which quantum algorithms, or how quantum computing can solve it or can do it in the best way, right?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, I don't see more questions now, so let's maybe give time for more questions, if there are any. If not, then I propose to take a break. So according to our plans, we want to have this matchmaking session starting in about 18 minutes. So in 18 minutes, we can meet again here on the same Zoom. We'll see how many people we have who still don't have team or still looking for new members of the teams. And we'll probably create some rooms here on Zoom to just so that everyone can introduce themselves and also the expectations, needs. So hopefully it will help you build best teams, winning teams. All right, Kamil, thank you. We don't have more questions now, so I will also now stop recording.